In a lot of teaching about horse training, there's this idea of moving the horse's feet. That if the horse is doing something that we don't like, or if he's too anxious or too wild, move his feet. And like many things, this isn't necessarily good advice, but it's not necessarily bad advice either. It all depends on one specific thing of how we're moving the feet. And I'll explain why in this video. You're watching the weekly show here at CRK Training. And today we're talking about why balance is so important to whether movement is going to be calming to the horse or actually more anxiety producing. I want to begin by clarifying one point. There are times when this idea of moving the horse's feet is brought up in order to establish dominance. So it's done with the idea that if we move the horse's feet, we're going to be dominant, we're going to be showing them who's boss, and that'll in and of itself make the horse respect us or improve our relationship. And I don't agree with this. I don't think that we have to have dominance over the horses in this type of sense in order to be effective trainers. What we are going to be talking about in this video is how the idea of moving the feet relates to the nervous system and relates to the horse's balance. Rhythmic input is one of the most calming things to the nervous system, and this is why movement can be so beneficial. Rhythmic, repetitive, steady movement can be very calming. So when we have a horse that's anxious, that's part of the reason that they usually want to move. And if we can allow them to move in a certain way, it can help them to become calmer, to relieve that stress, that tension, that anxiety, whatever might be causing it, and come to a better mental state. However, we have to understand some of the priorities of the nervous system, because if the movement is done in a way where it unbalances the horse, as is what is often taught with moving the feet, of like spinning the horse in a circle, if the horse becomes more unbalanced because of the movement, it's going to have the opposite of the calming effect, and it's actually going to increase their level of tension and anxiety in that moment. So the priorities of the nervous system are actually pretty simple, and they're kind of common sense. The first thing that our nervous system wants to do, and our horses as well, is to protect our head, our brain, our spinal cord. Those are some of the basic survival parts of the body, and the nervous system is going to protect those. Part of that, which is the second thing, is it wants to keep the horse upright. It wants to protect from falls, which means that the horse is going to do things, they're going to move in certain ways, even if it's against what we think we're giving them as a cue or what we're asking them to do. If their nervous system is saying you have to move this way in order to regain, to keep your balance, and to basically just stay upright. The third priority of the nervous system is going to be responding to external stimulus. This is responding to what's going on in their environment. It might include us. It might include other things that are around in the environment. And then the fourth thing is the nervous system is going to respond to pain. Now, why this is really interesting is not just the fact that the nervous system is putting such a high priority on maintaining balance because of it's important for safety, but also the fact that pain is actually so low. So when we think about this in the context of if there is something that the horse's brain, really, the horse considers to be a danger, if there's a large dog, a big obvious threat, the horse is going to respond to that. He's going to run away, he's going to kick out, he's going to do whatever it takes, even if he's in pain somewhere. The same thing can happen when we're riding or when we're working our horse on the ground. If we get to a place where we're maybe being aggressive, we're using a high amount of pressure, or whatever we're doing is the horse is seeing it as something that is a high enough threat that they're going to respond to that even before pain, which may mean that the horse is going to be moving in a way, they're going to be complying with what we're asking for, even if it's not the best thing for their body. But they're always going to try to protect their balance first. So if the horse is struggling to maintain balance, then their nervous system is always going to be in this more elevated state, and they're going to only be feeling more anxious and more heightened instead of feeling calmer. To put this on a really practical level, when we're using movement to help our horse find a place of more calm and of relaxation, we need to make sure that they're moving in a way that is rhythmic and that is in balance, so that their nervous system can calm down, can let down, and allow the horse to be able to focus on other things besides just maintaining the balance and staying upright. What this means for us is that first we need to learn to recognize when the horse is in balance and when they're not in balance. We also have to learn how to help our horses find this place of better balance. For example, this might mean like allowing the horse to move in a larger circle, learning to move and direct the horse's movement without micromanaging it. What this doesn't look like is spinning the horse in small circles or doing movements that are difficult for their body, such as disengaging the hindquarters and getting a big swing under of the hind leg. Sometimes these things are appropriate in an emergency where we need to just keep ourselves safe, but when we're thinking about doing something to actually help the horse come to a better mental state, we want to think rhythmic movement that's going to be calming for the horse and help them feel more balanced and just better in their body. I would love to hear about a situation where you used movement to help your horse. What happened? What type of movement did you use? Did you just walk your horse? Were you lunging? And what worked? Go ahead and put it down in the comments. If you're watching this anywhere besides crktrainingblog.com, go there for many more resources and also some great conversation with the other viewers. I look forward to your comment, and I'll see you there.